Alright guys, so here's part 2. We're talking about side decking on Eatos. I'll kind of show you what to side in and side it out a little bit, like on my opinions. One thing I did forget to mention on the main deck thing was the whole shrink versus deep prison thing. And the reason I don't run deep prison is because obviously I run the battle faders and I consider those traps, so that's kind of another thing that I put them in over. But a lot of people are debating whether shrink or deep prison. I personally, if it was up to me, I would probably go shrink, just because shrink allows you to get over monsters by battle. Now, Shrink does kind of suck against GBs because they can just Wabaku either way. So against that matchup, you might, if you play Shrink, if you main Shrink, you might want to side Deep Prisons for GBs. But I think Shrink is a lot better. It helps you get over Stardust, which Deep Prison can, but Shrink is at least chainable. So let's say you have one monster, they have one monster, and they Heavy Storm or they MST your monster or whatever. At least you can like chain Shrink. Their monster goes half, and they don't bother attacking this turn. So I really like that. I like the fact that it's chainable. But yeah, I just think Shrink is just an overall better card. I wish Shrink worked on defense, kind of like Gale's Effect. But yeah, I'd personally go Shrink. But, I mean, it's up to you either way. A lot of people are running Deep Prison this format. So, you know, maybe Deep Prison has some other facet that I don't get. I think the main reason people are running Deep Prison is because of how annoying Stardust is. But with Macrocosmos out, they can only use their Stardust effect once, and with Skill Drain out, they can't use it at all. Or you could even chalice their Stardust, you know, if you wanted to. So, we'll go ahead and show the extra deck again for those who didn't watch part 1. We got the 2 Stardust, 2-0, Cyber Twin, Chimera Takeover Dragon, and Super Alloy Beast Raptanus. Okay, and now we'll go to the side deck and show that off, and then I'll go ahead and talk about some side deck choices and why I run them. So we got a Breaker, a Juju, 2 Honest, MST, Future Visions, Super Polymerization, 2 Noblemen of Crossout, a DD Dynamite, a Pole Position, 2 Royal Oppression, and 2 Tuner Schemes. So we'll go backwards just because, honestly, I'm lazy and I don't feel like flipping my side deck back in order 3 times. So we'll go ahead and go backwards. So we'll start out with Tuner's Scheme. Now, Tuner's Scheme, I actually got this idea from Robbie Cole, so kind of shout out to you, I guess. So it's just really good against Synchro Cat, Black Wings, anything that synchros a lot. Basically, it's a trap card version of Brain Control that only works on synchros. When they synchro summon, or special summon a synchro monster, I'm sorry, so you can even use it on Vayu summons. Take control of that synchro monster, remove it from play when it is destroyed, so they don't get to Vayu summon if they like Vayu Sirocco for Armed Wing. They can't, if I destroy their Armed Wing, it gets like Vayu'd for an Armor Master. Also destroy this card when that monster is removed from the field. So the only thing that'll stop this card is Brionic. Bounces this back, so that's really annoying. Or they have to waste an MST, a Heavy, a Trunade, that kind of crap to get rid of it. So I really like it getting Synchro Heavy decks. Got the 2 Oppression. Now, a lot of people decided to main this. I think it's sided. Honestly, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a good enough player, I don't think, to know when to Oppression to waste the life points. Like, I would have been the stupid one who at Jump argued with the dude about how Oppression does kill Vayu. Because I would think you have to remove Vayu for cost. So, obviously, I'm not a good enough player. Like, I'm not being down on myself. It's just true. So, if you don't think you're a good enough player, don't run Oppression. You're just going to end up wasting life points that you don't need. Like, you don't need to waste. Plus, you're going to activate Oppression. They're going to, like, stop your Eatos. They're going to stop your Starlight Road. They're going to stop your Cyber Dragons. And you're going to overextend when you don't need to because they killed your free special summons. So, like, honestly, like, this is really good against the GBs. And maybe some rogue decks, but I think for the most part, side these, like, just keep them in side deck just in case. Now, Pole Position. Now, this is only in here for gadgets. Gadgets are 1-for-1 removal. The only thing Pole Position stops is my Gemini Spark, in case you don't know what it does. And when I read this card, keep in mind you can go infinite loops like crazy with this, so be careful how you use it. But this card, the face-up monster with the highest attack on the field is unaffected by spell cards. So you can see why Gemini Spark wouldn't work on your beaters, because your beaters are 1900, they're probably going to be higher than a lot of stuff on the field. When Pole Position is removed from the field, destroy the face-up monster with the highest attack on the field. So, if they do bring out a Cyber Dragon or something like that, all you have to do is MST your own, or Breaker your own, whatever, Pole Position to kill it, and there's another way to destroy monsters, but mainly it's against gadgets and their crappy 1-for-1 removal that's really annoying. The only thing the gadgets run that would use pole position's advantage is Cyber Dragon, so they pop out a Cyber Dragon when I have a Gemini, and I can't Gemini Spark now. DD Dynamite is just for game 3. I mean, a lot of people right now I almost did my lunch. Ooh. In my locals are playing Stallburn in side decks just so they can win game 3 easy. I just figured it's a good idea. I run it over Ceasefire. 2 Noblemen of Crossout, kind of obvious for Synchro Cat. Stops their Hamster or stops their Raikou. More than likely you'd want to stop their Raikou. Super Poly. Now this is where the extra deck comes in. Okay, Super Poly is great against Absolute Zero decks because you can steal their Absolute Zero. You can Super Poly, discard a card from your hand with all you have is a Stratos out, or Alias, whichever. Fuse your Alias with their Absolute Zero. Your field gets nuked. Wait, you have no monsters, so it doesn't matter. They can't Solemn it, they can't Dark Bribe it, so it doesn't even matter. Also, you get a free Absolute Zero, so that's where the Absolute Zeros come in. Booyah. You can use it on if they're about to Chimeric Fortress Dragon, and they special Cyber Dragon or something like that, or another machine, whatever, or say special summon another Cyber Dragon, or you have 2 Cyber Dragons out somehow, use it for your Cyber Twin. Same general concept on Chimeric Overdragon. If they're about to Chimeric Fortress Dragon you, chain this to their machine and your Cyber Dragon for really weak, but just play it in defense, I guess, Overdragon, so that you don't lose advantage, field advantage anyway. And same goes for Raptanus. You can fuse like your 2 Geminis, whatever, to stop them from getting bottomless or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it's just really helpful. So, yeah. Future Visions. Now, this card is pro. I really like this card. This card is for Blackwings. Okay, so, effect. When a monster is normal summon, remove from play that monster. During the next standby phase, the controller summon the monster, return the card to the field in face-up attack position. So, if they try to special that Bora in defense, they can't. Oh, wait, yeah, sorry. Retard. They can't, sorry. Special summons are not affected. But anyway, so if they try to normal summon in defense, that they can't. Whatever. They can't. If they try to summon their monster, they can't Black Orb and search because the monster gets removed. If I normal summon my Barbaros at 19, it leaves the field. It comes back at 3,000. Now, Bottomless Trap Hole can only be activated the first time because technically the second time the monster is returned, but still, I think it's really good. And it also stops, like, they normal summon, sure, it gets removed. They can't special that Gale or Boars that they were planning on swarming the field with. Gotta wait till next turn. MST. This and Breaker are my only back row removal because I don't think I need it. If they side decrees, I should probably have a Bribe up fast enough. If not, I'll probably more than likely side this game 2 over the Starlight Road. Too Honest. It is the last thing people are looking to worry about in Game 2 of a macro deck. They're going to see your Macrocosmos and your D-Fisher. They're not going to see the Survivor, so they're wondering what the hell is going on. They see Eatos popping out, and they're like, okay, they're trying to keep monsters out of the grave for Eatos. Game 2, side out Eatos, D-Fisher, Macro, get your Honest, other cards you want to side deck, watch their face when you drop Honest on your Crusader that you've been bluffing Honest last game about. Last game, you bluffed Honest. They were like, oh, he's not running Honest, he's running a macro deck. Boom, there goes Honest. It's a big surprise. Almost sounded like the ShamWow guy now, just now. Ooh. Okay, Breaker, kind of explained that earlier with the MST. Juju, just for GBs, Blackwings, whatever you want to top deck. Now, War Chariot and Divine Wrath would rape this card, but either way, you're gonna gain advantage because they already attacked the monster. So, I mean, yeah, they're gonna get to tag out, but they lost their attack for that turn, so they can't attack you directly, and they lost a card, and possibly another card from their hand if they use Divine Wrath. You only lost your 1 Juju. So I think that's about 10 minutes. So this is side decking, like why I run what I run. In my next segment that I'll do whenever I do it, give me suggestions on what you want me to do. Comment in the bottom. My next segment, I'll talk about what to side in, what to side out. I kind of did it when I did Honest. I was trying to talk a little bit fast so I can get this video done. Kind of tired, wanted to go to bed. About 9 o'clock. I know I'm a baby for going to bed at 9 o'clock. Thanks, guys, and peace.